Hi mga kawawmat, in this video we will discuss the part 1 of mathematical system, which will focus on undefined and defined terms. So our objectives, first we will define each part of the mathematical system, the undefined terms, defined terms, postulates, theorems, and we will illustrate how these four parts of mathematical system related to one another. So in this video, sa part 1, magpo-focus po muna tayo sa A and B, which is the undefined terms and also the defined terms. And then abangan po natin ang part 2, which is our next video, which will focus on the postulates and theorems. So let's define first what is a mathematical system. So, mathematical system is divided into four parts. We have the undefined terms, defined terms, the axioms or postulates, and the theorems. Now, under undefined terms, so what are those undefined terms? In geometry, we come across with terms which cannot be precisely defined. In modern mathematics, we do accept certain undefined terms by description. So, ito yung undefined terms na we cannot have the exact definition of these terms. Okay? Unlike undefined terms, which do not have a formal definition, these terms have a formal definition. So, ito na po yung mga defined terms. So, meron na po silang formal definition. They are used to define even more terms. So, yun po ang difference ng undefined terms and defined terms. So, the undefined terms, we cannot define it precisely. While defined terms, there is a formal definition. Now, when we say axioms or postulates, it is a statement which is accepted as true without proof. So, ito yung tinatanggap na natin kasi very obvious naman siya na nakikita natin na ganito siya. So, kaya, tawag nito, yung statement na yon ay tinatanggap na natin based doon sa nakikita natin, which is very obvious. Okay? So, this is accepted as true without proof. Okay? Kahit wala siyang proof. So, these statements can be used as reasons in proving some mathematical statements. And the theorems, a theorem is a statement that can be proven. So, unlike axioms and postulates, it is accepted as true without proof. But the theorems, these are statements that can be proven. Okay? So, ito yung pwede siyang i-prove. So, once a theorem is proven, it can also be used as a reason in proving other statements. Okay. So, these four parts of mathematical system, the undefined terms, defined terms, axioms, postulates, and theorems, ano ba ang mga laman nito? So, under undefined terms, we have the point, the line, and the plane. For defined terms, we will be discussing here the collinear points, coplanar points, and the subsets of a line. Now, for axioms and postulates, we have 6 postulates under point, line, and plane postulates. So, dyan po natin yan tatalakayin. And the theorems, where we have three theorems for point, line, plane theorems. Okay? So, in this video, we will try to show, or let me show you the relationship of these four parts of mathematical system. So, let's say, for example, under undefined terms, we have a line. Now, for defined terms, we can have the line segment, which actually has its own definition. Okay? Meron na siyang definition. Okay? Pero ang line, it's undefined. Okay? Now, from undefined terms, we can now have the postulate or the axioms. Okay? So, like, for example, 2 points determine a line. Okay? And then from here, we will have the theorem. So, like for example, the shortest segment from a point not on the line to the line is the perpendicular segment. So, this is just an example of the relationship of these four parts of mathematical system. Kung paano siya napupunta yung process ng from undefined to undefined terms to axioms, postulates, and to theorems. Now, so sa part 1 po ng ating video, ang focus po natin ay undefined terms, kung saan i-discuss natin ang point, line, and plane, and also sa defined terms which will focus on collinear points, coplanar points, non-collinear, and non-coplanar points, and also the subsets of a line. So, sa part 2, sundan po natin ang part 2 nito na magpo-focus naman sa axioms, postulates, and theorems. So, let's start. So, let's have first an activity. I have here set of objects. Now, I want you to categorize these objects into 3 parts: the point, the line, and the plane. Which objects do you think is the best representation or a representation or a model of a point, line, and plane? So, alin kaya dito yung nagpapakita na ito ay point, ito ay line, at ito ay plane? Okay, so pwede kayong sumabay sa akin. So, we will have this. Okay? So, we can represent the point, like for example, eto. So, we have this sesame seeds. So, etong mga sesame seeds na to is one of the representations of a point. Okay? Now, the corner of a box, since we have here the corner, ibig sabihin yung kanto, so this corner is a representation of a point, and also the tip of a pen. So, lahat ng tip of a finger, tip of a marker, so tip of a needle, so lahat ng tip ay representation of a point. Okay? Now, underline. Okay, so, sa line, isa sa mga representations natin itong edge of a table. So, pag sinabi natin edge, itong gilid. Okay? So, any objects, basta merong edge. Edge of a ruler, edge of your notebook, edge of a band paper. So, lahat po ng edges ay considered representations ng line. Okay. And then, a rope. So, a rope is also a representation of a line, and also yung pencil. So, this is a representation of a line. But, if in case that the given object is a tip of a pencil, so that becomes a point. Okay? Magiging point siya kapag tip of a pencil. Pero, since ang sabi naman dito is pencil, so ibig sabihin ito yung buo ang tinutukoy niya, so that is a line. Okay, and here's the plane. So, pag sinabi nating plane, a board is a representation of a plane. Kasi ayan, meron tayong plane. And then also carpet, if you have carpets at home, kung meron kayong carpet sa bahay, so a carpet is a representation of a plane. And also your notebook, notepad, bond paper, so lahat po yun ay representation ng plane. Okay. So, let's try. So, tell whether each of the following represents a point, line, or a plane. So, I have here 12 items. Sabayan nyo po ako sa pagsagot. So, you can assess yourselves kung naintindihan ng concept ng point, line, and plane when it comes to representation of the objects. Okay? So, stars in the sky. If you will be looking at the sky, ang tingin natin sa stars, that is a point. Okay? A curtain rod, ito yung pinaglalagyan ng ating kortina. So, this is a line. The edge, okay, we have here the word edge. So, this is a line. A cartolina, so it means one whole cartolina. So, this is a plane. A knot on a piece of thread, when we say knot, yung buhol. Okay? Hindi po sinabing thread. Pag sinabing thread, this is a line. But since we have here a knot, yung buhol ng sinulit, so that is a point. Next, a clothesline. So, a clothesline is sampayan. Okay? So, this is a line. Next, top of a box. So, pag sinabi natin kanina, meron tayong example sa point, bakit yung box doon ay point? Kasi ang sabi doon, corner. So, pag corner, ibig sabihin point. Kapag top, di ba yung top ng box natin, flat yan. So, it is a representation of a plane. Okay, so that is a plane. Okay, pag sinabi namang edge of a box, yung gilid ng box, that is a line. So, depende yan ha. So, pag tip of a box, corner of a box, that is a point. Top of a box, that is a plane. Or bottom of a box, or side of the box, that is a plane. And then, for edge of a box, that is a line. Okay? Next, page of a book. So, that is a plane. A magic wand. This is a line. A button, botones. So, this is a point. A mole, nunal. This is also a point. And the handkerchief is a plane. Okay. So, let's talk about point. Ano ba itong point? Okay. So, you need to familiarize with the concept of point, line, and plane and how it is named. Okay. Paano siya ba pinapangalanan? And paano siya sinusulat. So, dapat alam po natin yon. Okay? So, let's start. So, a point is a position in space. It has only location but no dimension, length, width, thickness, and does not occupy an area. So, a point, it has only location pero wala siyang dimension. Yun ang tatandaan. Wala siyang sukat. Okay? So, a point is named using a capital letter and it can be modeled by a dot. So, a dot is the best representation of a point. Okay? So, that is the best representation of a point. And do not forget, when we are naming a point, pag nag-name tayo ng point, always use capital letter. Okay? Kasi every time na makakakita tayo ng malaking letter, that means that is the name of a point. Or every time na makakakita tayo ng malaking, capital letter, that means, or that is referring to a point. Okay? So, another example is this one, point C, point D, so point B. So, these are all examples of a point. Okay? Always remember that you have to name your point using capital letter. Okay? And all other geometric figures are made up of a collection of points. So, lahat ng figures or geometric figures ay nagsisimula po sa point. So, pag pinagsama-sama yun, that's why it is a collection of points, nakakabuo po tayo ng figure doon. Okay? So, again, a point is named using a capital letter and it is best represented by a dot. Okay, let's proceed to a line. So, a line is a straight, continuous arrangement of infinitely many points. Its length is infinite. It extends infinitely in two directions and it has no thickness. Okay, so, if this is your line, okay, it extends infinitely in both directions. So, from here, nag-e-extend po yan. Okay? Bakit ang line nag-e-extend? Okay, bakit nag-e-extend siya in opposite direction? Kasi from here, so ayan siya, nag-e-extend siya in both directions because of the arrowheads. So, ito pong mga arrowheads natin, it symbolizes infinity. So, kapag meron po tayong arrowheads both sides, ibig sabihin, extended pa yon. So, hindi unending siya. Hindi natin alam kung saan siya natatapos. Okay? So, that is infinite. So, the arrowhead symbolizes infinity. That's why a line is a continuous arrangement of infinitely many points. Hindi natin alam kung ilang points meron dyan kasi nga nag-e-extend siya. So, maraming points yan. Okay? Because its length is infinite. Now, how do we name a line? It is named by a single lowercase script letter or by any 2 points on a line. Okay? So, pag sinabi natin script letter, let's say for example, this is your line. So, make sure na kapag mag-i-illustrate po tayo ng line, there must be 2 arrowheads. So, dapat meron po siyang 2 arrowheads kapag line po ang ini-illustrate natin. Yun po ang symbol ng ating line. Okay? So, tatandaan na kapag nag-name po tayo ng line, always use single lowercase. Pag sinabing script, ito yung parang may arte yung letter mo. Parang may design. Okay? So, we will be using single. Okay? Single, small. Parang lowercase, ibig sabihin small letter. Okay? So, script, small script letter. So, halimbawa po ito. Okay. So, as you can see, I use small script letter. So, kapag nag-name po tayo ng line, you can make use of the small script letter. So, ito siya. So, this figure or this illustration is line D. Okay? Kasi ayun yung name niya. Or in symbol, if you do not want to write the word line, kung ayaw mo isulat tong line na word, you can make use of the symbol. Ano ba ang symbol natin? Pag line. O paano mo ipapakita that this D, this letter, is a line. So, you can make use of this symbol. So, as you can see, ang symbol niya po ay may dalawang arrowhead. So, ilalagay po natin yan sa taas ng ating letter. Okay? If you do not want to write the word line. Okay? Pero kung meron na to, wag nyo na po lagyan dito. Alright? So, again, we are naming a line by using a small script letter. So, this is line D, or in symbol, we will write this, we will write the line like this. Okay? Or, sabi dito, by any 2 points on a line. So, kapag 2 points naman sa line, ang gagamitin naman po natin ay capital letter. Bakit capital letter? Kasi point. Diba, diniscuss natin dun sa previous slide na kapag point, it is named using capital letter. So, kung 2 points, ibig sabihin 2 capital letters yan. Okay? Kasi points ang pinag-uusapan. Ang point po ay laging capital letter. So, 2 points, 2 capital letters yun. Okay? So, ano ba itong 2 points na to? Pwede mo rin siyang gamitin na pangalan ng line mo. So, we can also name this figure as line AB, or pwede mo siyang tawaging line BA. Okay? Pwede mo siyang baliktarin, line AB or line BA. Or in symbol, we can have line AB or line BA. So, lagyan lang po natin ng line symbol dun sa taas niya. Okay? So, halimbawa, meron tinanong si teacher, what is the name of the line? And then, ang sagot ni classmate ay line D. Ikaw naman, ang sagot mo, line AB. Pareho po yung tama. Unless nagbigay ng condition na name the line using 2 points. So, dapat, ang sagot mo, yung pang 2 points na name. Name the line using single script letter. So, dapat ang name mo yung small letter. Okay? Pero kung wala namang hinihinging condition, then you can have both. Okay? So, pwede naman kahit ano dyan. So, ang line pwedeng by using script letter or by any 2 points. So, ito ay line AB or line BA or pwede ring line D. So, this is the other name for line AB, and line AB is the other name for line D. So, always remember that 2 points determine a line. So, for us to have a line, you must have at least 2 points. Kasi pag yan single point lang, wala ka mabubuong line doon. Kasi, point lang siya. Okay? Pero pag nagkaroon ka ng 2 points, pag kinonect mo yon, makaka-form tayo ng line. That's why 2 points determine a line. Next, proceed tayo sa plane. So, a plane is a flat surface that extends infinitely along its length and width. Okay? It is like an infinite sheet of paper. It has length and width but no thickness. So, again, it extends infinitely along its width and length. So, let's say this is your plane. Nag-e-extend po yan. Okay? So, it is like a sheet of paper. Ayan po. Okay, so from here, ayan po, nag-extend po yung length at width pag sinabi nating plane. Pero, wala siyang thickness. Okay? Pag sinabi kasi nating plane, flat surface yan. Halimbawa, square, rectangle. Kapag ang square, kailan ba ang square hindi nagiging plane? Kapag naging cube na siya. Okay? Kapag 3D. So, kapag cube, hindi na yan square. Okay? I mean, hindi na yan plane. That is already a solid figure. Okay, so a plane, it is a flat surface. Okay, a plane is a flat surface. So, kapag naging 3-dimensional na yan, hindi na po yan plane. So, a cube is not a plane. A cylinder is not a plane. A sphere is not a plane. Rectangular prism, triangular prism, pyramid. So, hindi po yun plane kasi hindi siya flat surface. Now, it is named. How do we name a plane? It is named by a single script, capital letter. Okay, so, ang difference niya sa line, ang line, pwede mo siyang pangalanan ng 2 points or single script, small letter. Okay? Small letter po. Pero kapag plane, pwede mo siyang pangalanan using single script, capital letter. So, halimbawa ito. So, yung kanina sa line, small letter siya. Ito, capital letter po tayo kapag plane. Okay? So, ito pong name ng plane natin. So, pwede po yan. Nandyan siya. Or you might see it here. Pwede rin po dito. Pwede po dyan. So, madalas makikita mo siya sa corner. Okay? Nakikita rin naman siya sa bandang gitna. Pero, most of the time, nakikita po natin ang name ng plane natin sa corners. Okay? Wag lang po na kung tayo ang mag-i-illustrate o magdo-drawing, lagyan natin lahat. Hindi naman po ganito. Okay? So, isa lang po. Okay? So, wag naman po natin lagyan lahat. So, a plane can be named by single capital letter. So, it is script. Ibig sabihin, yung may arte ng konti, medyo italic siya. Okay? Or, aside from this, you can also name the plane by any 3 points in the plane. So, halimbawa po, meron tayong, so this is named as plane D. So, pwede mo siyang pangalanan as plane D. Okay? So, pwede mo siyang tawagin plane D. Kasi, ayun, nasa loob siya ng plane. Script letter nasa corner. So, pwede natin siyang tawagin plane D. And then, pwede nga rin siyang pangalanan by any 3 points in the plane. So, halimbawa, ito meron akong L, I, F, E. Okay? So, these letters are representations or the name of the points. Why? Kasi, di ba this is a corner and the corner represents a point. Okay. And aside from that, as you can see, our letter is capital. A point should be written in capital letter. Okay? So, I have here 4 points. So, ang sinasabi dito, aside from this, yung nandito na pangalan niya, pwede mo rin siyang pangalanan using any 3 points on the plane. Okay? So, kahit anong points pwede. So, halimbawa, basta as much as possible, name your plane ng magkakasunod yung points. Okay? Pwedeng counterclockwise, pwedeng clockwise, basta magkakasunod. Okay? So, itong plane na to, pwede mo rin siyang tawaging plane LIF. Pwede rin siyang plane IFE. Pwede rin plane LEF. So, pwedeng clockwise or counterclockwise. Basta magkakasunod. Okay? Huwag kang LIE. Okay? So, dapat magkakasunod po. Okay? And then another, pwede rin pong plane EFI. Okay? So, ibig sabihin po, ma'am, marami pong pwedeng pangalan ng plane? Yes. Okay? Kasi pwede mo siyang pangalanan using any 3 points. Or, sabi nga, since any 3 points, ibig sabihin pwedeng 4. So, pwede mo rin siyang pangalanan as plane LIFE. Okay? Ma'am, 4 points siya. Di dapat plane LIFE. Okay. Remember that at least 3 non-collinear points determine a plane. So, kahit 3 points lang yan, for as long as nandun siya sa plane, pwede na po siyang name nung plane na yon. Okay? Kasi at least 3 non-collinear points determine a plane. Okay. So, again, you can make use of the script capital letter or any 3 points on the plane or pwede rin pong yung 4 points, gamitin mo lahat, pwede rin po yan.